No, now we actually have to talk about knitting.
Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Jernigan, and this is the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. It's a meeting that's actually open to all knitters if you are, especially if you're interested in knitting a Phrancko sweater. But if you'd just like to come hang out with us and share your work, that's fine too. With that said, the meeting is every week at 2:30 Pacific time, and the link is found on the website phrancko.com with the unusual spelling you see beneath my picture. So, hello, Debbie.
Hello.
Hi, Sumner.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back after several weeks.
Thank you.
Hi, Sung.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Will.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Wally.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Rendell. Well, how's everyone doing this week?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Doing great.
Is
Feeling
there
better.
a story behind the different spelling for Phrancko?
Oh, it's not a very interesting story.
There is a story.
It's hard to get a website that's got a common name and a common spelling. And so this is actually Phrancko was a name I created several years ago to join gaming websites because I had a brief interest in gaming online. And then later it became my Ravelry name, Phrancko. And it was simply inspired from my name and making variations on how to spell it. It turned out there was not a website. Um, there was already a website Phranko, and I would have named it that, but I had to stick the C in there. So it's got three differences from my real name, Frank. PH instead of F, CK instead of K, and O at the end. So that's it.
Yep.
But as
Well,
I
thank
said, it
you.
wasn't that interesting. It was just I needed something unique and something short and memorable to be the website name. And I borrowed it from what I had used before. And it worked.
Interesting. So is everybody ready for Easter?
Yes, actually.
Everybody colored their eggs. So.
I made some creme caramel.
Ah.
Right
Oh.
now.
And what's that, Sumner?
Creme caramel. That's
Yeah.
it's French flan. It's got the
Oh,
caramel
that sounds
sauce
really
on the
good.
bottom, and
Yeah,
you
with the
flip it.
caramel and
Yeah.
dip it out. You dip it out. Oh, that sounds very good.
My favorite thing.
Yummy. You have a lot of favorite things, though, I have noticed.
I do. If it's food, it's probably a favorite.
How's your new house?
Yeah,
I am in love with it. It is so much bigger than my apartment.
cool.
Because
Yeah.
it's 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms and an office now. So I don't have to work from home with a bed behind me.
Yeah, good.
And you can knit something new now besides socks?
Yeah, a Phrancko hoodie right here.
Oh, boy.
Kids,
Hey,
it's
Frank.
Oh, wow.
coming. It's coming.
We have to
Started it
celebrate that.
yesterday.
You
Yeah.
promised that was
Started it
happening.
yesterday. It's happening.
Yeah, very good.
I'm so excited about it.
I think I've been hearing about that hoodie, Sumner, since I joined this group.
2 years, maybe. And I shoveled snow last Saturday, just so
Oh,
you know.
boy.
Yeah.
It was shovelable. We had to shovel the driveway.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, no.
And today it is 77 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
Welcome to New England.
Yeah.
Did the move go smoothly?
Very, except I got like crazy sick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm alive. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu. Um, I just got very sick, but you know, I paid the movers, so they were moving me anyway. I just had to show up. Oh, and the fights that I had to get the internet running. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness.
Um,
Crazy story. It's a brand new house,
oh boy.
but they put the cable in the neighborhood like last year and they turned it on. But then there was no one on the loop. So the system, it kind of fell off the loop because it was like, well, you turn me on, but no one's on, so I'm going to shut off.
Mm,
So then when I came in and I had to have the conduit pulled through, I had to have the cable installed, but there was no internet to actually check if it was working.
Mm.
And so I'm telling the cable company how to fix this because that's partly what I do for a living for another company. And I had to tell them, no, you need to do this, 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 and this. Of course, they don't listen. On the fourth visit, they said, yep, we needed to do this, this, this. And I said, yeah, I know.
Hmm.
And it's working just perfectly now.
Oh,
oh,
good.
yay.
So fun. Yeah, it's big. I have like an actual dining room now.
oh boy.
Like my
Wow.
dining table is not in my living room.
So is it 1 bedroom, 1 office, and a knitting room?
I have
Yeah.
2 bedrooms, an office, with my office and knitting room is the same room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then a nice big living room, a dining room, and a nice kitchen with brand new appliances and a 2-car garage
Oh,
Wow.
and a driveway that
Nice.
holds like 6
Mm.
cars. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
brilliant.
Big upgrade for less money than I was paying for rent.
Yeah.
Really?
Blimey.
Nice.
My rent was going up to $3,300 a month.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
wow.
Oh, my gosh. Ouch.
Forget it.
That's insane. Like, how do people afford that?
Well, Long Island's 36 or more.
Oh boy.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Well, then like the Boston rents, like a 1-bedroom apartment will go you
Yeah.
4,000.
Yeah.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same the world over. There were protests in Spain about not wanting tourists there because the tourists are outpricing. Everyone's doing Airbnb for tourists, and no one can
Exactly.
afford the homes there.
Yeah, that's what happened in Paris. Same thing. They
Yeah.
literally want to kick them all out because they can't afford to live there now. And these Airbnbs, no one lives there.
Yeah.
So you've wiped out neighborhoods. Landlords are making money, and there's no locals living there anymore. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Not where I live now. I live out in East. What's the? I'm not going to say it, Frank. Don't worry about it. Very, very far away. But I work from home.
How's your sweater, Nick?
Oh, the sweater I was knitting. Guess what I was doing over the last
Oh,
few
Oh, wow.
hours?
Oh, my gosh.
So I've woven in some of the ends.
Uh-huh.
So it's all been going well. Yeah, I thought as I'd come to sort of separate the sleeves or start the stitches for the sleeves, I
Uh-huh.
thought now's the time to sort of tackle some of the ends. So I've got some of those off. I think I've done about half.
Uh-huh.
So you know, I never really know. I never really know what to do with this. So I kind of bin it. This sort of thing. I don't make stuffed toys or anything. So I never really know what to do with scraps of yarn.
Nobody there is making those chickens, the emotional support chicken.
Yeah.
No, not that I know of this area. No, I have seen them.
Ron, you look like you're at the theater. Is that true?
I am, yes. I just finished programming lights for our upcoming production of Carrie, of all things.
Oh boy.
So I'm up here in the booth. This is where I've
By
been
yourself?
living for the last
Is
few
it
days.
safe?
There's little monkeys up there. So that's a bird's eye view of
Oh.
our
Oh, wow.
gymnasium that's all sticky with fake blood
Mm.
Whoa.
from Harry getting drenched.
Mm.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is my sound area over here, light board here.
Oh,
And that's where I've been. We finally got all of the yarn rescanned from being dyed. I'm going to turn myself around for local yarn store day.
Uh-huh.
So was able to leave Tim at the shop for a day to get this task finished. So that was good. So I don't celebrate Easter, but what I will be doing tomorrow is working all day on getting things ready for local yarn store day next week, getting everything in shape because that is next Saturday. So if you have a yarn store in your area, go check it out. See if they have anything going for a local yarn store day. It's the biggest yarn day of the year for many local shops, smaller shops. We have sort of come to depend on that to get us in through spring and the summer months. It's a big shot in the arm for the industry, which is recovering nicely.
Oh, good.
So the 26th is local yarn store day. So we've got yarn all over the place. It's finally been rescanned. We've got to label it, package it. We've got lots of new yarns in, lots of spring and summer things that we've gone through and put up on the shelves. And if my backpack were up here, I would show you samples that I'm just like carting around with myself to work on bits at a time, catch as catch can, while the children are singing. So, it's a good time, but that's where I am today. In fact, I was just stopping in to say hello to you all, and I suppose I should finish doing whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see
Thanks
you.
for stopping in.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't want to disappear for a long time. I count on this to know what day it is. What day is it? I don't know. It's 3 days until Phrancko, so that must mean it's, I don't know. With my weekend being on Monday and Tuesday, it's hard to tell. All right, everyone.
All right.
Have a lovely time.
Bye.
Take it easy.
I hope I can stop in and greet you all next week. But then again, if we're swamped, that's also a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
That is.
So if I don't
Well,
see
good
you
luck
next
with
week,
that.
thank you. Visit your local yarn store if you have the opportunity. We count on knitters and crocheters and crafters.
I have a new one I have to go visit. I've never been to.
Good. Then you have very serious homework to do, Sumner.
Yes, I do. Oh, and I did start the hoodie. It's right here.
Yes, I saw.
Yay.
After all these years.
Yes, we got it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 All right.
I don't think we have a local yarn store day in the UK, do we, Jenny?
No, we don't.
We don't have any
Occasionally,
equivalent.
a yarn crawl, don't they? They some shops get together and hire a coach and people go around, but mainly in London they don't sort of do it anywhere else.
They're so few and far between round in our area, and they all seem to sell variants of acrylic. They don't sell a great deal of anything else, and this is the problem. So you're not really inspired when you go there.
No.
Did you say acrylic?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
The local that's specifically a yarn store. They're usually, I would say, 70% of them are fabric stores as well. They're small, they're independent, and they just rely on a very small catchment, because in the UK we don't drive the sort of distances you drive.
Right.
So it's a really local catchment where the rent's cheap, that they can afford it. There's not a lot of money in the area, and it's all acrylic yarn. You don't really, have you got any near you, Jenny, that sells anything?
We've got a one good one in Petersfield.
Yeah, but Petersfield's half an hour away from you.
20 minutes, yes.
20 minutes, yeah. It's not exactly local in our country. I know it probably is in America, and it sounds ridiculous.
Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking local is kind of like within an hour's drive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Down the road, 40 miles.
My local yarn store
Yeah.
is 20 minutes away, and it's in the same town, San Francisco.
Are you going to Wonderwall, Nick?
When is it?
It's next weekend.
Next weekend? No, I'm not going. No, I went to Unravel in Farnborough.
Yes,
Farnham.
Farnham, yes, I went to that.
Farnham.
It's a bit, there's lots of stalls there, but it's not very accessible. It's all upstairs and through corridors, isn't it? And yeah.
Yes, I went to a local dyer up near Northampton, and she was at Unravel, and I didn't see her. I knew her, and I didn't see her. I didn't know she was there. And she said I wasn't the first person to do it. It's in lots of little rooms, isn't there? And it's not very well. It's not easy to know where to go.
No. And you think you've done it all, only to find you've actually missed a whole section off because you didn't go up one set of stairs and down the other set of stairs and round the corner or something. Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm going to Wonderwall next week. So,
how are you?
Yeah. I think Wonderwall is probably the UK's biggest yarn festival, I think.
Right. Is it Wales? Near Wales?
Yeah, mid Wales, Bilth Wales.
Mid Wales, yeah. That's another country. That's not.
So how far is that for you, Jenny?
About a 3.5 hour drive, I think. Yeah, something like that. But there's about 200 to 250 stalls, I think. So it's worth going for. Yeah.
It's probably the biggest in England, isn't it? Or in the UK? One of the biggest.
So, yeah, I think so, yeah. So I'm going to be very good and take my budget in cash and not my credit card. So that once I've spent my budget, I've spent my budget.
Wally, I have to ask, because we worked on your pattern. Did you get started on it?
Yes, I did. Where am I here?
Wally and I exchanged emails over the week.
I have started it.
Oh, so you did have to start all over?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But Cindy, I did not rip it out.
You didn't? What did you do with it?
What I did is I bought more yarn.
That's a good idea. That's a perfect idea. That sounds great.
I said, I'm not ripping that out. Cindy will be upset. So I started.
All that yarn you were recently given, you still had to go buy more.
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm working on now, is this scarf.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. So.
But is it cables? Those are cables?
No, as a matter of fact, they're slip stitches and knit two and then slip it over, and it's it looks like a cable, but it's not. So
it kind of looks like those little wrapped loops, right?
Yeah, it's who is it? Carol Anderson? Yeah, Carol Anderson's book on the community knitting. So it's projects for community knitting.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. She has about 12 different types of books. So she's Elizabeth Zimmerman. They used to knit together.
Oh.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So she has like 7 books. One's all scarves, one's Scandinavian. She has 2 books on community knitting. So, we buy all these books and then we never use anything. So I figured, okay, I'll wait for the pattern. Thank you, Frank, for, readjusting that. So,
Oh, no problem.
yeah, so.
I'll say it again. If anybody purchases a pattern at Phrancko.com, and after you have completed the purchase, you realize you've got something wrong in the measurements, whether it's your gauge or a wrong measurement you entered for your recipient of the sweater, just let me know by an email, and I will fix it for you. So you don't have to buy another pattern to fix an error that you made on input.
Well, I might actually be dropping you a line, Frank, because I started my sweater.
Yes.
And as much as I convinced myself that I really like the gauge, I really hate it. I hate the gauge. You knit your swatch and you're just like, yeah, that'll be fine. And after starting it, and I picked up for the shoulders and started knitting. And I was like, I just hate this gauge. It's just too open. I'm more of an armor type knitter. I like a really tight gauge, and this was just too flouncy and open for me. I think I'm going to start again, do another swatch, and drop down a needle size or 2, and hopefully get a better fabric that I like rather than what I was using. So I might. Sure. If you don't mind, I might.
Of course, I don't mind. Yes, if you change your gauge and you
can we change the gauge, please?
I can just change the gauge for you, and you get a brand new pattern with all the right numbers.
Thank you very much indeed.
No problem.
Oh, thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
So about changing the gauge, really funny. When I got the original Phrancko hoodie yarn, it came in. I hated it. It said it was denim, but it was like baby blue.
Oh.
So I just wasn't going to wear it. Part of the reason why it had a timeout for so long. So then I finally found a yarn that I really liked, and I did a gauge about 8 months ago. This swatch, and then I put it all in and labeled it. And then I said, I don't know. Maybe I like it this gauge. So then I did this gauge swatch. and then I ended up going back to the original. So I'm like, okay, it's good. We got it.
And what yarn is that?
To a Phrancko. What?
What yarn are you using?
So this is Barocco Ultra Alpaca, 100 gram, 219 yards. It's 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool on number 9. So I've been doing these tags for my swatches, so that when I throw them in the drawer, I can always just take them and I say, okay, that's the needle, that's the yarn, and then I can pick up where I left off, because I've blocked all my swatches before I start counting my gauge. And then, I don't know, it makes it easy because I do keep a stash. I could probably make 6 sweaters worth of stuff before I need to buy more yarn.
Only 6? I mean, slacking. You're slacking.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What millimeter is a size 9?
What?
What millimeter is a size 9?
Oh,
5.5.
All right,
I just looked it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bulkier alpaca, that's why I wanted it a little bit lighter. Even though
Sounds
I'm
like
in
a really soft sweater. It's really
yeah,
It is going to be a
It's
super
beautiful.
soft, wonderful sweater.
even northern, like, so now I'm like in northern New England. That alpaca is like an oven.
Yeah.
It's very warm. So I needed it a little bit looser so I could be a little more comfortable.
And I've been working on my fiber report. Does anyone know why alpaca is so very warm? It's quite a bit warmer than wool.
Because the hair is hollow.
That is exactly it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's got air inside the shaft of the actual hair itself, and so that's why it's warmer.
Mm.
It's not just the insulating between the things; it's in each individual strand.
Yeah, it is neat. It's like knitting insulation. Like it's crazy. Yeah,
it is. It is. It's really kind.
And it doesn't pill as much because the fibers are so long. So if you're trying to break alpaca yarn,
you've got to have your hands really far apart.
Yeah, pull your hands far apart. Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah.
Is alpaca the only one that is hollow in the middle then?
The Angora rabbit is also, and some of the dog is.
Maybe yak.
Dog. I didn't choose dog as one of my fibers, but I've spun dog before, so I know that.
Yes, and a gorgeous hat.
Yes, the hat was dog and also Angora rabbit. So yeah, that was really warm too.
Is yak hollow? I would think that would be.
I haven't looked at that one, but that one could very well be.
I think that one is.
I've got a book right here. I'm going to look.
Yak is unusual because there's 3 different fibers that come off of a yak.
Right.
Oh.
They have like a completely separate undercoat of just fluffy down hair. And the overcoat is really strong and sturdy and rough. And that's what they make rugs out of. Yeah. So when they're combing out the yak, who wants to comb a yak for a living? Oh my goodness, right?
That would not be a fun job.
No, because they don't shear a yak. They comb it out with almost like a carding brush.
Really?
It is.
And they get the undercoat, but that's why it's so extraordinarily expensive to get like a good yak yarn.
And did you know that yak actually comes in quite a few natural colors? The domestic species that we get most of our fiber comes from in black, white, red, brown, and golden, as well as spotted patterns.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's a beautiful fiber. My buddy who came to the knitting group with us before, he gave me a bunch of yak. And it's just so warm. It's perfect for New England winters when we're minus 10 degrees for 3 weeks.
So is he far away that he can't visit you any longer?
I moved about 45 minutes away from Arthur.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So he'll still come up and visit.
All right, good.
Because I'm in the lakes region right below the White Mountains.
Okay.
And I'm pretty also close to the coast of Maine, about 20 minutes from the coast of Maine.
Ooh, caribou.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm now a lot closer to Debbie.
That's right.
That's great.
And funny enough, it's farther for me to drive to Quebec than it was when I lived in Massachusetts. Because you don't drive over the White Mountains. You drive around them.
Yeah.
So it takes me about 40 minutes more to get to Quebec than it does if I lived in Methuen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Everybody
Hence
says
that phrase, you can't get there from here.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a mountain in the way.
I want to share real quick an interesting book, and this was the one I was looking in when Sumner asked about yak, and this is the Fleece to Fiber source book. It is
That book's
just
great,
really,
isn't it?
really cool.
Yeah.
It's a huge book. It's, I don't know, it has to be at least 500 pages. No, 425. Anyway, lots and lots of color photographs and just really great information about all the different animals that we get fiber from. And so it's really cool. So that's one that I've been looking at and drooling over the pictures and all the different yarns, different things to try.
So I forget, in this report you're doing for the level 3 TKGA Master Hand Knitting Program certification, do you choose specific fibers that you write about, or do you write about types of fibers? I forget which.
No, we're supposed to write about 3 different types. We have to include animal, which also would include silk. We have to include plant fibers, and then we also have to include some sort of synthetic fiber. And we have to have 6 different ones that we choose, but each of those 3 categories has to be represented. So I only chose one synthetic. I chose acrylic, and then I chose the others from the animal, vegetable, mineral, and and did that. The ones that I chose were wool and alpaca and cashmere and silk. And I chose those because they're the ones that I myself see the most in a lot of the hand knitting fibers right now, and that they're the ones that I have really represented behind me. And then I did cotton and then acrylic. So, and I'm a little more than halfway done with my report, so it's coming good.
Great.
I had done a bunch of reading and had a bunch of notes already before I started actually doing it, but and I have a whole pile of books again here. But it's just really interesting how much there is to learn.
There is.
And very fun. It's really cool. And I did finish my last Bavarian Austrian swatch. I almost emailed you early this week, Frank, to say that I was quitting. Never come back again.
Oh, wow.
I was really in a bad way. And I think, probably looking at it now, I think I see one error, and I think I'm going to have to reknit it. But at least now I understand it a little bit better. So here's the swatch.
Well, that's great.
Wow.
Oh,
Let me see if I
nice.
see the error.
So,
Wait a minute.
okay.
Wait a minute.
Look, see if you
Those
can see
all
it.
do the same way. Those are the same way. I don't see an error. Submit it.
If I have to do it again, Frank, I'm going to say.
Right.
But no, it's pretty good. But I think there's one of the ones over here that I didn't quite get it quite exactly. I don't know. What I ended up doing, and I want to show, it's kind of I feel dorky that I had to do it, but I'm directionally challenged, and I get confused when I'm looking at stuff and reading directions. And so what I ended up doing was I took this is the chart that I designed. And so I took the chart and I marked it that things that actually go to the left, like a left traveler or a left cross, are color coded in blue, and the green ones are the right ones. And then I wrote up separate instructions to myself. This is the wrong side. And it says then that the background stitches are knit, so that I do that, and how to do each of the different ones. And here is the right side. So as I worked through every single row, I flipped back and forth, and I had to pay attention of, okay, now I'm going to the left, but it's on the wrong side. So we're doing this thing. Yeah. I don't think it'd be nearly so bad to do it in the round at all.
No, it's not
But
bad at all.
back and forth is just is just a bear for me. But I did finally get to where I can do it. So if I can do this, it's like I think probably most anybody could. It's you just have to be really stubborn.
Well,
But I'm
that
very
deserves
happy to be done with it.
a big congratulations on completing that.
Thank you.
And just go ahead and submit it. Don't redo it.
Okay.
It's too
all
much
right.
work.
Well, and it's like I can't really tell, is it or is it not? And I haven't blocked it yet, so it'll look a little bit better, I think, when it's blocked. But it turned out I liked how it ended up looking, so I'm good. So that's all 19. So now I just have to write and review, and then I get to start designing.
Oh boy.
Hey, Cindy, I like hearing stories like that because that just shows you what makes sense to one person doesn't necessarily make sense to another. And so when you start doing things like that and you start writing your own instructions and you put it out there into wherever you put it out there, it is going to make sense to somebody else. And for me, I always said that sense bell kind of goes off in my head and say, that makes sense, because then I can go back in my mental file cabinet, pull something up and say, hey, that makes sense to me. Whereas whoever wrote the instructions initially, it made sense to them, but it's not sensible to everybody.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell myself, and it's funny, and I've said it before. So I've been knitting for a really long time, Rendell. Long time, 30 plus years. I was not doing wrap and turns correctly. Now I am. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne, Bryan. And they do this monster swatch where you do like 7 different types of wrap and turns. So this is the first Phrancko that I've actually put the wrap and turn sleeve cap in.
Oh, so you didn't put the wrap and turns in before?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Not correctly. I wasn't doing them right. That's okay.
Right.
So, Frank Jernigan, he's somewhere around here. He put out a video about wrap and turns. I finally watched it. It clicked. Nice video, Frank.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, nice video. And the woman that you credit in the design of the sweater, where you actually incorporate those wrap and turns.
Yes.
Right? Frank has a link to her videos in his instruction on the YouTube video. And what she did, like, completely helped me because, and it's again, like, Rendell, she's like rewriting the instruction of what somebody else put down, right? So she actually keeps track of the wraps with a stitch holder, like a closable, a removable stitch holder. So she knows where the wraps are when she's going to pick them up. Almost like a Japanese short bow. So it's like a combination. It totally was like, there it is. After decades of knitting, there it is, because someone else put down their way of understanding something that has been done for decades. Yeah.
Well,
and thank you, Frank. I wanted to give you a plug on that video. That was really a good video.
Well, I learned it from her, and if you could help me remember her name.
This lady right here?
That's the one.
Yep, that's the one.
Myra Wood. Myra Wood.
Myra Wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a class with her, and she taught us that technique. And well, I watched the video. There's something she does differently than anybody else, where you knit.
I watched you too.
You knit through the back loop or something. Anyway.
Well, she slips it knitwise, almost as if she's going to do like a decrease.
Yeah.
But when you slip it knitwise, and then when you're picking
That's
up
right.
the wrap,
Flip it
it
knitwise.
actually centers it. It actually correctly orients itself.
So when you
So
come
it's
back and pick
invisible.
up the wrap, it's perfect. Yes.
It's invisible. It's like totally, you don't even see
It's
it.
all ready.
So I didn't want to
correct.
pass that along without giving her full credit, because I certainly didn't invent that or think of it up, but I really appreciated it. So Myra Woods, thank you very much.
Yeah, you would never see a wrap and turn in this fabric. You couldn't. I couldn't pay you to find it because of the stitch mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Could I ask a master hand knitter question that I've kind of hidden? I'm on my level 2.
Oh.
And I've hidden this error in my knitting to my shame, and it's probably my knitting secret that I don't tell anyone about because I kind of fudge it.
That's the best thing to do with errors in your knitting.
Are you sure you want to tell us?
You can't get away with it when you send your swatches off, Frank. We all know that. You get away with very little.
I'm sure you get away with some stuff, because I used to review submissions for a while, for a couple of years, and I know I missed things, so I'm sure not everybody gets everything.
I have always had a constant bind off problem. So you bind off in the normal way and you come to the very last stitch.
Yes.
And I have a problem on that last stitch. So I think the TKGA, Binker says you can lift the leg of the stitch below and knit them together. And someone else on the TKGA says you can't do that because it interferes with the row below the bind off, which is understandable. So my get round is I have one stitch on my needle and I cut the yarn and pull it through. It's the only way I've done everything, such as on the row below, I've wrapped my yarn clockwise on my pearl stitches for the first 4 stitches. I've tried everything. And the only way I can get rid of it is on that very last stitch, I cut the yarn and just pull the stitch off, which kind of leaves me 1 stitch short on the bind off.
Yes, I'm not sure that's going to be acceptable.
I'm not sure it is
find
either.
that.
Of course they'll find that. I know they'll find that.
That won't pass.
No, but it does confuse me that Binker says you can lift the leg of the stitch below, and I can't remember, it might be Caroline Vance or someone else has published something saying you can't do that. And I can't find any other reference for Binker's lifted from the stitch below.
Well, the thing for Binkas is that if you're doing it for your own knitting, of course you can do it.
Oh, I don't care.
You can do whatever you want. But for the TKGA stuff, it has to be turned in. You cannot. So I would do your research on looking for the last stitch of the bind off or something like that. You should be able to find something with Suzanne Bryan, maybe Roxanne Richardson.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because nothing I've tried, and I've looked at Roxanne, I've looked at Suzanne, I've done all the TKGA on your way to the masters, and nothing I do solves this last stitch from elongating and just being a little bit bigger, and it's not square, and they pick me up on it. They pick me up on it all through my level 1, but I just can't correct it, and nothing, and I'm at a loss. But definitely using that last stitch and just cutting yarn and pulling the last stitch all the way through the second to last stitch as such, I'm not going to be able to pass on that, am I?
I think it'll be flagged.
I think it'll be picked up as well. So I'm just going to have to keep swatching and keep trying.
Do you guys know if Norman's trick works? Is that TKGA approved? That thing of where you lift it's not really the row below, it's just part of the stitch, but it's not the leg. Does that count? That wouldn't work.
You can't do that either.
No. Okay.
Some of what they have, they suggest, and I don't know if it was Suzanne or where I'm sorry that I can't remember the exact reference. I think it actually was Suzanne, but and maybe it was even in boot camp in a class. But some is on the row before your bind off row. You're going to wrap very carefully those few stitches that will end up being your ending row. You'll be careful to work on the tips of your needles so you're not stretching them out or anything. And the stitch that is not your selvage stitch, not on the edge, but the next one, you will wrap it, reverse wrap, so that when you get to it and you work that stitch and the next stitch, it will take up a little bit of your yarn, because what's happening at the end and why you're having a problem is as you work across and your stitch go like this, it's pushing that extra yarn to the end. And then at the end, there's no place for this extra yarn to go. So what you have to do is in the row before, you have to have a little bit less there. And so if you've wrapped the one stitch backwards, and then of course, when you get to it, you work it the backwards way so that it's not wrapped incorrectly. So that will fix it, or will really help.
Yeah, I have tried absolutely everything as you suggest, but what I do think I do, when you said just wrap the purl stitch, the second to last stitch, clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Yeah,
whatever it is,
whichever way. Counterclockwise.
I can't tell you if it's clockwise or counter.
I know, but the reverse wrap. I've actually been doing the last the first 4 pearls on the row below, and I think I overcompensate for what is a really simple fix. I always do. When Suzanne says, "Oh, tighten up that stitch," I'm almost got my foot on the needle and I'm pulling it.
So, Nick, I just took her boot camp and I just graduated her boot camp. I just put in the chat the link to one of the lessons that Suzanne gives about that enlarged last bind off, just as a reference to make it easy for people. If people are watching this link is kind of what we're talking about.
And I'll make sure to put that in the description of the video when I post it.
And Nick, I'm sure that's what you're talking about. I had the same issue.
Yeah.
It fixed my issue.
Okay.
But I literally just did the fix as it was set.
Right.
I didn't overcompensate.
After everyone, looking at people here going, oh, it should be no problem. The second stitch, if you wrap it around a different way, it evens out. I've tried everything. I've got countless swatches where this corner of this swatch looks a mess. But I do think now, speaking to you and talking it through, I think I'm overcompensating because I do it on the salvage stitch, the first, the second, and the third stitch, and they're all wrapped in the opposite way. So I take up that yarn before I cast off, and nothing's working. It's just getting more and more messy.
If you wrap more than one the wrong way, then it's like you aren't wrapping any of them the wrong way. Because the reason why it works is because you are moving from one to the other. And so it uses that teeny weeny bit less yarn. But once you've moved and you can wrap whichever way you want to wrap and then work in whichever side you want to side.
Yeah.
And then it does not use less yarn. So when you do 4, it's like, oh, well, you just negated what you just did. Just do 1.
I think that's the answer. I will give that a go and report back next week.
Yeah, we'll take a report on that one.
I shall bring the swatch and say, look, I've
Yes,
done
we'll
it.
expect to see swatches next week.
All through my level 1, they were like, your swatch is okay, but it's got a very strange sort of nubby bit on the end of the bind off. And I was like, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had very messy salvage stitches. Like they were a wreck. But I didn't know it until I started to come into this Phrancko meeting and started really looking at my knitting and going, oh, wow, that's kind of a mess. Like my first row of stitches every other row is so tight, you almost can't even see there's a stitch in there, but only like the first 2 stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It took a long time to have that even out. So, yeah, y'all made me a better knitter. It's all your
It's a
fault.
very common problem for the first full stitch, the one after the next to the selvage stitch, to vary in size from row to row. One row is big, the next row is small, the next row is big, the next row is small. And if you look at your swatch, that's very common and it's difficult to get right, but there are techniques for straightening that out.
Not anymore.
Good for you.
Thank you all.
So who else has something to show us, because we're getting near the end of the hour?
What's Mary working on?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to know, Mary, what are you working on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mary's working on a dishcloth.
Is it a square?
Yes.
And it's not acrylic.
It's just the old pattern.
You want to hold it up?
Oh, well, you can't see it very well, but it's got the whole.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, very good.
I can't listen to you all and knit something difficult. I have to knit something very plain so I can concentrate on what you say.
I think that's what most of us are doing.
Right.
I'm doing one by one ribbing, so I can just sit here and knit and knit.
Right.
Will, did you say you had something to show?
I do. I started a new sock that I want to share with everyone.
good.
This is the Stephen West painting or painted. Let me see. Painting honeycomb socks.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Painting
I love it. I like that.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
It's
That is
really
good.
fun. and
Yeah.
it's going very fast. And
Yeah.
it's great for using up scraps that you've got, because each little row doesn't use hardly any yarn. So
Yeah, cool.
So how is that worked? It's not
the
like
slip
regular.
stitch.
It's a slip stitch.
Slip stitch
Okay.
pattern. So you've got you knit run round and then you purl 3 rounds in the purple, right? And then you do 6 rounds with your contrast color, and you're slipping these 3 stitches every round for 6 rounds. You slip them.
What?
Okay.
And that's what it causes it
That's
to
why they kind of
pull
makes it to be
down.
round then.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
So it's very easy. You knit 7, slip 3, and you just do that for 6 rounds. And then you go back to your main color, knit around, purl 3 rounds. It's very simple.
Oh, it really is very striking looking.
So when you're doing
I
a
like the
color
3D
round,
look of it.
when you're doing a color round, you're still only using one color. You're not
That's
knitting
right.
the purple and the color.
That's right. Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, you never use more than one color at a time.
Has he got a jumper designed in that?
I think
same
so.
manner?
Yes. I think so.
I think he has got a sweater design like that as well. I've never seen the socks. They're really good.
Oh yeah, they're a lot of fun and fairly mindless. And my husband picked all the colors, so I don't even have to think about the colors.
Very good.
That is great. That's pretty.
So I won't be here next week. I'm going to be okay. I'm not moving again. My husband is performing at University of New Hampshire's 101st like development of their drama department.
Oh, wow.
So I guess it's pretty old, apparently. And I will be there.
Yeah.
So I will see you in 2 weeks.
Have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. He's such a lot of fun. So, but like interesting, my husband has actually sung with a few people who are on Broadway.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he's pretty talented.
Well, I'll show you my sweater. I mean, it doesn't look like I made a lot of progress, but I've been knitting a lot. It just took forever. Oh, there I am. There. So this is the bottom of the sweater. And as you can see, I now have the ribbing. I'm almost completed the ribbing.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll
nice.
turn it upside down so you can see the sweater from the top down.
The colors are just so gorgeous.
Yeah, those colors are absolutely
fantastic.
Yeah, it's
And then there's the ribbing at the
Lovely.
bottom.
Love it.
Very good.
And so the pattern for that is going to be in cast on, right?
That's right. Not the next issue, which is coming out soon, but the following issue.
Well, that'll be fall, so that's really good for fall colors too.
Yeah, that's right.
Which should work really good.
It's Malabrigo, which I just love. The colors are so vibrant and varied and rich. Sung, what are you working on?
I'm working on, a Phrancko.
I thought so. That's why I called it.
Yes. Oh, it's coming out really
pretty. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. Lovely.
Looks so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's I got into the hard part. I mean, past the hard part, so now it's just knit.
Yes.
Yes. That's it. And then I'm making a Aaron sweater for my grandson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah. And what yarn for your Phrancko?
It's Mamma Mia, Jody Long.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Really soft.
Yeah.
Is that a cotton?
No. Mm-mm.
No, I'll have to look it up. The Mamma Mia. I love the color. I love gray.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's
a rich, saturated gray. Love it.
It's a baby llama and merino wool.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I always
You
have
got
to
that from
think
Ron,
up
right?
Sorry.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead.
got that from Ron, right, Soon?
Yes. Mm-hmm. He helped me choose the colors. It's very good.
I have to think up a creative name for each of the meetings that we post online. Originally I just said Phrancko meeting and the date, but I thought that didn't attract anybody. So when we talked about the Llama Mia, I titled it Llama Mia, Mamma Mia.
There we go again.
There you go again. Yeah. That's fun. Tuesday, girl.
Jenny, you know we're always excited to see what you're working on.
Well, I'm actually stalled at the moment. I'm looking for another cable pattern for my husband's cardigan. And I found one. I thought, oh yeah, this is the cable pattern I want on Ravelry. And then it was part of a book, which I thought that's fine. But then the book is $115.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
Wow!
And that. So I'm just in the process of seeing if I can reverse engineer the cable I've seen.
Yeah.
So it's taking me a little bit of working out, because whilst I can understand the knitting instructions, writing them I find harder than understanding the instructions. But I'm having a go to see if I can. It's a lovely cable. It's
you have a sample you can show us?
I can show you the. Can I show you the cable? Hold on a minute.
Is this for the body of the sweater?
This is the front. So I'm on the fronts now. So this is the cable.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. Which book is that, Jenny?
So this is by, hold on, let me just come back that bit. It's Devogilla, Devorgilla, Devogilla's Knitting, and it's from her Celtic Knitting Motifs book.
Is it that expensive because it's out of print?
No, I think it's because, to be fair, there are 250 Celtic knot patterns in there, so you're sort of getting your money's worth.
Oh my.
One.
Yeah, right.
So yes. So I'm trying to reverse engineer that cable at the moment. That knot pattern. So
That
we'll
sounds
see.
like a fabulous book, but that is a bit pricey.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it does. But if you know, if I wanted to do lots of different ones, then I might think about it, but not just for one. So yeah. And she sells a lot of her patterns. She sells individual ones, but she doesn't seem to be selling that particular cable, not individually.
That's sod's law, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, she's got lots of individual ones, but not that one. So yeah.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today.
Wow.
So thank you all for coming, and it's
Thank you.
been another delightful
you.
gathering.
Yep.
And happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Happy
Yes.
Easter.
Happy
Easter.
holiday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great
Bye.
week. Bye.